got mail. Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next hour or so, along with Spence.
I thought this was the home shopping channel.
Yeah.
No, no, it's
Oh.
not. No,
Oh, okay, that's fine.
no. And Katie's here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Gal is going to join us shortly, and Nick is probably not going to join us, but he told us that last week. Our number is 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. Another week gone by.
Another
Yes.
week.
My picture in the background is a place I'd like to go spend a couple of days. It's Marathon, Florida, in the Florida Keys, and this is a sunset park, they call it, where
Yeah,
you
and the
can
water
watch the
look
sunset
really-
sunset on the water.
The water is calm.
Yeah, until the next hurricane.
So, what happened this past week that you got to talk about?
To be honest, it's been a quiet week for me computer-wise.
Same. Nothing
Good.
crazy has
Oh, well.
happened.
That's fine then.
I'm sure there are things that have happened that
There's something here that's I don't know that anybody tried that, but the article goes that Google users have discovered that adding curse words to search queries disables the company's AI-powered overview feature.
How'd they figure that out?
While Google Gemini AI system typically avoids profanity, inserting such into search terms bypasses AI summaries and deliver traditional web results instead. Users can also disable AI overviews by adding -AI or other text string after a sign to their queries. So if you go to Google and you want to search for anything, just add a password or just put -AI and all these.
That's so funny.
Yeah, well, it's
The person that discovered that was probably so fed up with Google or like what they were trying to Google that they were just like, this mother effing stupid thing.
it
And
is
AI was
stupid,
like,
you know.
whoa.
It is stupid. It is stupid because I don't think I would like to say I don't think it's current, but you look at uh, the list, and especially if you're looking on a mobile device, you see more of them,
Mhm.
and they can repeat and have a different answer. It's kind of I don't know. It just takes. I mean, I don't answer my question. Take me to sites that have it. If I am looking for reviews about, like this week, I was looking for Dyson reviews, and you get oodles and oodles of what about this? What about that? What about, and you have to scroll, 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 scroll until you get to real reviews.
That's why Bing is superior. Because Bing also uses AI, but
Yeah.
it lists its sources. So it'll give you a summary and then it will annotate or note where it got that information.
Okay,
and
no. Google does the same, but it's after the thing. So you see the answer or the summary, if you want to call it. It's not a summary, it's actually answering a question, so to speak, because they come up with questions. If you look, so you'll see a question says, is my Dyson blah blah blah. I didn't ask that. Don't come up with that. So they answer that, and then they tell you where they got it, and there's a link. but I don't, it's I'll need to try Bing because it's getting a little bit too much.
I liked using Bing, but it's been a while since I used it, so
What do you use, Spence?
What do I use? I use Chrome, and I'm
No, I mean, what search engine?
oh, what search engine? DuckDuckGo.
Okay. No, but it's actually it can drive you crazy. You go say, okay, well, maybe there is something there. Like, you said, can I change? I mean, I'm thinking about things that I did this past week. Can I change the uh, head motor on a Dyson something 41? And they have nothing to do with what I'm asking. There's questions and answers that have nothing to do with it, and you have to go through them. So this here, I mean, I read this thing yesterday, and I said, "Wow, I need to try it next time." Uh, will make
I
things easy.
I have to say that now that you're talking about this, I can say this week I've had great frustration with searches for information. For example, uh, what is Bank One on a Hyundai Elantra 2012 1.8 engine? So you can decide which of the two camshaft position sensors is actually bad.
Wow. Okay.
So, and I found answers that were from outer space. Literally, ask the car guy, right? And I apologize if there's somebody really called. I know there's Eric, the car guy, and he's very good. But the ask the car expert, whatever, and the answers are crap. I mean, they're absolutely run-on sentences and just garbage. And you have to go out. And finally, found the answer, and it took forever to find it. And what
Yeah.
else was I trying to? There was something else I was trying to find this week. Same thing. You just could not find a decent answer anywhere.
Yeah.
Here's an
That's
interesting. I was thinking about this because I read a story and I had never heard this term before of AI. It's called hallucinations. It's when AI comes up with junk, garbage, and that it said that AI is not designed to find out whether something is true or not. It just goes out and searches to find the answer and puts it there for you. And there was a statistic put up in a major news story by a major news outlet that said that it was about cheese, and they said that Gouda cheese
oh yeah.
was 60% of the world's market of cheese, and it not true. And so it was very interesting when I read this, and it
And
was
what
just
did they do? They said, what did they do to fix it?
well, first they took it down because they didn't know what the answer was. They couldn't fix it. And then someone, what happened was it was out on X and community notes. People said, no, here is the real number, cheddar, and they gave the
Yeah.
list of
But
consume. But why couldn't AI find it?
but
It's
the
out there.
answer, uh, solution to it that I read was that
Oh, you
somebody
saw
went.
that? You saw
No,
that?
somebody, yeah, somebody
Yeah.
went in and edited the answers.
So yeah, and this
So
this
what
goes
is
back to
so who's the AI now?
well, that's it. It goes back to the initial. We still you cannot get past garbage in, garbage out.
Right. Exactly.
It's always going to be that way because AI is not going to know, I made a mistake, and consciously say, I need to fix it. It's
Yeah.
just going to do its best, the best that programming can let it do.
Yeah.
So I, I think it can be definitely can be used for certain things, but people
Uh,
saying, I mean, Elon Musk said a statement that I think he did it. I don't think it was in serious to say that in 2032 you'll be able to elect an AI president.
no.
No, no. I mean, I would never think that that was a good idea. So,
Well, plus the AI is not old enough. They have to be in their 70s and 80s.
oh, that's right. You're right. They haven't been, and they haven't.
Yeah, maybe in
Uh,
100 years, AI
how
will
did
be
we know
president.
they're citizens? They
Another
have to
point.
go.
Good point.
They have to get naturalized.
Yeah. No, and you cannot
Oh,
be a citizen if you're naturalized.
yeah.
You have to be born,
You have to be
unless they
born home.
change
Yeah.
unless they change the rules.
Well, actually, if the coding was done in the United States, then they're born here,
If the what?
right? If the coding was done
Well,
in the United States,
then yes, then you don't need to
natural born citizen.
naturalize. Yeah.
This
Right.
is getting
Imagine.
too deep.
Yeah.
Hollywood has already made a movie about this, I'm sure.
Oh,
And another thing about it, OpenAI says it's investigating after a hacker claimed to have stolen login credentials for 20 million OpenAI accounts and
oh.
advertised the data for sale on a dark web forum. Though security researchers doubt the legitimacy of the breach, the AI company stated that it takes the claim seriously, advising users to enable two factor authentication and stay vigilant against phishing attempts. And the rest of the article went that, yeah, we don't see any proof that anything happened, but we need to take it seriously. So it's getting there too. I mean, so people are using ChatGPT to figure out how to break into OpenAI. Isn't that something?
It's great.
No.
Uh, I have started to use AI for summarizing, which I think is a really good
Which
tool.
is fine. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
again, like we said from day one, it's a tool. You need to use it to make your stuff a little better. But the bad guys are also. Katie, you still using it every day?
Not every day, but yeah, I have the pro subscription. I use it like an idea machine.
Yeah.
Like I have a problem and I don't know where to start and I'll ask it and then it'll give me things to help me and then I go and I Google specifically what I need. I don't use what it says as gospel unless it's coding. Because for me, and I know Gall has another opinion about this, but the coding stuff I'm doing, I guess is kind of basic compared to other stuff. So I can ask it like, okay, well, how do I access this attribute in Unity with code, and it'll write it for me, and it'll work. So,
Hmm.
and so that kind of stuff, like I find that anything that has documentation, that gets fed into into the AI, it generally is really really helpful. And that's the same too with I think it was called Codium. That's another AI s software or whatever that I used within, I think, Visual Studio, and it would correct my code and offer solutions when it saw a problem. Like, it would know, like, "Hey, you're trying to reference this variable, but you're not using the right thing," or "This isn't referenced," or whatever, and it was like, "Do you want me to fix it for you?" And I say, "Yes," and it does it. Or it'll notice that I'm writing code that, is easy or like or redundant or something, and it'll be like, "Hey, you want me to finish this for you so you don't have to sit here and write the rest of it?" And I'm like, "Sure," and it'll just do it. So that is super amazing, and I love it. But all of these people that are using AI to gain specific information, it's like you can't. You just can't.
Yeah.
Did you see the story about Edge? The new version of Edge that's rolling out is going to have it has a built-in AI powered scareware blocker. So when you get these, you owe money. I just got an
Yeah.
interesting text. You owe money on Florida Sun Pass. Like, and the funny part about it was I was in Florida back in December and used the toll roads, used my quick pass, North Carolina quick pass, but it didn't work everywhere. So I actually got charged back through the rental car company for the places I went. Just because there's no, when you go to Florida now, there's no toll gates where you could pay. Everything is all by license plate. So I was first, I had to look at this to say, is this real? And yeah, it was a scam. And if you look it up, it's very popular now that you get these messages about owing toll money.
The golden rule when it comes to government stuff is they will never text you.
Yeah.
They will send you something in the mail. So,
Yeah.
if you owe a bill or something and it's from Uncle Sam and it says that it was sent to you through text message, no, that's just a scam because they are still using fax machines and sending things in the mail. So, just golden rule there.
Yep.
The only thing I would trust is them to say, you have a new statement with no link.
Yeah.
Say, please look, here is your new COLA adjustment. Log into what is it now? Is it us.gov? What is the main login now to Social Security? I don't know. Do you use it?
I use it, but there's normally a link in there.
Yeah, but it's something.
And
It's a global thing now. They're going to all access government access is going to be through the single sign on, and
yeah,
it's working. You passports.
it's I
Oh, what
think
is it
that's
called?
I think that's what I'm using. And the trick was to set it up so Brave or Firefox recognize the link and bring up the username.
Yeah,
This way, you don't need to worry that you're clicking on something that is somewhere else, because if
yeah.
it is somewhere else, it's not going to bring up the username. That's what I figure.
Well,
So
with that toll thing, the very first suspicious thing, even though it was plausible because, like I
yeah,
said, I'd been
yeah,
in
because
Florida.
you were there. Yeah,
When I looked at the link and I said, "This is a garbage link," right away I knew that, and I really need to
yeah,
set up a virtual machine for checking things like that, just for fun, so I can click on them and not worry about anything.
yeah.
That would be fun. I should do that.
And talking about notifications and stuff, users are now receiving notifications regarding their Microsoft 365 subscriptions and must take action if they wish to avoid Copilot and its extra charges. The email from Microsoft warns that the cost of a 365 personal subscription will jump. However, there is no need to worry. Microsoft knows what's best and will increase your payment in return for all those AI powered Copilot services it knows you want.
Yeah. Lord have
So,
mercy.
Oh yeah, this is right at straight out of Bill Gates' mind.
well,
I know what you need, and you will take it.
it's just amazing that everything else comes with AI for free. I mean, when you talk about utilities that utilize AI, but here
Well,
is
the big
Microsoft, they're going to charge you for that.
the big reveal was when they said, "Oh, you can keep using Windows 10 and get updates if you pay,"
Yeah,
which means they're going to keep people on it. They're not abandoning it. They do it. They're putting it out there as a cash cow.
exactly. And there was something about it too that um that Windows running out. Oh, oh, this is for commercial. Microsoft will charge commercial customers $61 per device in the first year to continue receiving Windows 10 security updates after support ends. The register wrote in a PSA note last week, citing text would cost doubling each subsequent year for up to 3 years. And they say you can continue using Windows 10, but without security updates.
Oh, I found.
And
I should have brought this up. I found a company that will provide the security
yeah,
for you. Yeah, did we talk about that? I don't
y-
remember.
we talked about it a few weeks ago, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, but that actually, I read through their offer, and it was actually pretty good,
yeah.
and it was reasonable.
They, there was also oh, there it is. Microsoft has intensified efforts to block unsupported Windows 11 installations, removing documentation about bypassing system requirements, and flagging third party workaround tools as potential malware. The move comes as Windows 10 approaches end of support in October 2025, when users must either continue without updates, upgrade to Windows 11, or purchase new hardware compatible with Windows 11's TPM 2.0 requirement. And they said that even Defender, Windows Defender, it will see it as a malware, so it will not allow you to install it, so to speak. So they're really trying hard. I guess they realized that how long it took people to go from Windows 7 to Windows 10, and they don't want that. So they're coming up with all kind of ways. What drives me crazy is that three machines that don't have TPM 2.0 running Windows 10 cannot run Windows 11. You still get those full screen. Hey, you need to upgrade to Windows 11. Click here to see if you can. Now, come on. You're Microsoft. You can tell whether the machine that you're running on can do it.
Yeah, that's annoying. Yep.
And there's no such thing. Hey, don't show it to me. No, remind me later. Yeah, that that's Microsoft. Now, Katie, everybody actually,
Mm.
listen to this. The United States Postal Service has suspended all package shipments from China and Hong Kong following President Trump's decision to eliminate the de minimis exemption, minimis, which previously allowed small packages under $800 to enter the U.S. without import duties. The move could potentially create chaos and confusion across the online shopping industry, as well as make purchases more expensive for consumers, especially because many global manufacturers and internet sellers are located in China. Shoppers are now on the hook not only for the additional 10% tariff, but also whatever original tax rate their products were exempted from until Tuesday. Which,
I heard about this. It really targets Temu and Shein.
yep,
'Cause Temu and Shein, you can buy something that for like $1 that on Amazon would be 20 bucks.
yep.
So so really it's going at and the companies would take advantage of the tax loop in order to ship things in really, really cheap, and then that's why you can get them for like a couple bucks on Temu.
Yeah, and but the thing about Timo, if you notice when you're buying stuff, a lot of the items now say local warehouse. That means it's within the states.
Yeah,
So I guess they get a whole lot in and they pay. Of course, they
yeah.
pay and then they sell it. So I don't know how much more that's going to be. I mean, it's probably going to be pennies on the dollar, but if you're buying stuff that's coming directly from China, that's a problem. And it's not just that, it's Alibaba, it's all these. If you're buying anything under $800, you did not pay any taxes on. Now,
Well, it's for them too, cause like, they'll ship over bulk orders, and as
yeah,
long as they keep the bulk orders,
right,
like, to fill their local
right.
warehouses, they just have to ship it under $800 worth of stuff, and they could do it multiple times in a week, so they don't have to pay tariffs on it, and so that it just stops them from it's not this isn't specifically for individual orders, it's going after, um these cheap items that they ship over to the US in bulk to then sell.
Correct. So, oh, so you mean they used to, instead of bringing a whole
Yeah, instead of bringing
Connex
a whole
box, they
yeah,
do
they do
small.
little ones. Yeah,
Yeah,
to be under that
I
$800
never
limit.
thought about it, and then they get away with. Interesting,
Yeah, so it's yeah.
interesting.
So now they're gonna have to do it in $200 increments. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know what it is now, or if it even has like an under limit thing.
We'll have to wait and see how it affects what.
They might have to be forced to actually ship over large quantities of stuff, pay the taxes, but then it's worth it for them in the long run.
Yeah, and then they spread it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
that's kinda how we buy things anyways,
Yeah.
because, like, when you go to a store and you just buy one of one thing, it's always the most expensive thing.
Yep.
Uh, and so for them, I guess it's like, "Oh, if you ship $10,000 worth of stuff, it's cheaper than shipping it in $800 increments."
Right. Right. But I mean, a lot of people that do their shopping, little things during the week. I mean, hey, this, especially when it's free shipping, so you don't. We used to look and say, okay, let's fill up so we don't pay shipping. Now, most of the, I mean, I know even on Temu now, I think it's $30. You have to have 30 or $35 for free shipping. There's no completely free shipping on something that costs $5.
Yeah.
Good morning, God.
Good morning.
Um, so yeah, it's going to be it's going to change what we pay. We're going to pay, I think, a little more.
Yeah, it's probably just pennies.
Yeah. So we'll wait and see. Um, well, what's happening, Gal? Anything? Give us the
No,
news.
nothing
Give
much.
us the news.
The news. Well,
I mean, you told
the real
everybody.
news is gonna be next week, next Monday, not the coming Monday, but the Monday after that. I got a new job, so that's big
Let's
news for me.
go.
Yeah,
But yeah, other than that, I'm still same old, dealing with the same crap. Um,
that's okay.
nothing much on tech. I haven't done anything special.
That's all right. Yeah, I was reading an article that were saying that what do you call it? Like when you jump from job to job hopping or whatever, is
Okay.
no longer. It's going way, way, way down to below what it was before COVID. And people are not quitting their jobs because it's hard to get a job. So knock on wood, you're lucky. You're
I'm
good. So you.
I don't know if it's because it's hard to find a job or the job market has stopped changing in a dramatic way. I mean, when you think about COVID, if you're comparing COVID times to now, then first of all, you had all of those jobs who had to be present but couldn't because
Yeah.
of the curfews, right? Because of the uh, what was it called? Not curfews.
You.
Yeah, the stay inside, and then you had the jobs that became fully remote, and because of that change, right, there are those who couldn't handle it and those who could handle it, etc. All of that change, right, that created flux, huge flux in the job market. And then when we started tapering off of it and getting out of it, then all of those companies who first of all had to deal with their financial reality, right? That's one. But second, the decision of uh, most of the jobs that I was looking into, uh, I haven't seen one posting for like fully on the site, um, uh, says 5 days a week
Yeah.
on the site, right? In the office, uh, for for tech type jobs, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And So most of them are hybrid, but hybrid by the means of not if you wanna you can stay at home or you need to be at the office. You'll need to be at the office 3 days a week, right? That's the norm. That has become the norm. But those decisions, it seems, the change in those decisions has stopped, and so stability is starting uh, to be seen as well. That's my take on it anyway. It's not it's not that people it was always hard finding a job, right? And if you're looking at unemployment numbers, they're I think they're still gradually going down, right? Um, uh, so it's not about hard finding a job so much
They
as
they
the
were
market
saying
just
that
stabilized.
the jobs are not as available now as they used to be. So people are staying at their jobs. That's what the article. Anyway, doesn't matter. I mean, it's a good thing that you got a job. It took time. I'm sure it
It
wasn't
took me
easy, but
it took
it's
me 2 months to find this job. Now I was lucky because I have friends I've been talking with, and they were looking for a job for over a year. So it
Yeah, it took
really
me
depends.
7 months.
Yeah.
John. I mean, we were talking about Windows 10, and he says, "Won't there be bootlegged copies of the Windows 10 updates available on the internet?" There may be. Somebody will figure it out. Um,
It's just a hassle.
yeah, it is a hassle.
Piracy
Absolutely.
always exists. It's just a matter of hassle. With Windows the way they've been up until now. Uh,
I was thinking about it yesterday when I was reading this, and I said, but damn, it's going to be such a hassle to change a computer and rebuild. Then I said, but wait, I don't have to rebuild. If I change the motherboard today with a motherboard that has TPM 2.0 and just keep using it as is, then I can just upgrade to 11.
sure.
And the programs that are on it will, if they can run under 11, will keep on running.
An upgrade in place will work. I think you can do the upgrade even without the TPM. Like there's a way to hack. Uh,
Yeah, but that's what we were talking about. That Microsoft is taking they're they're making it so you can't hack anymore. Um, they're making it even. I mean, any kind of a third party uh, hack that if it doesn't have TPM 2.0, they will flag as malware and will not install. And they were saying that even Defender is going to be flagged as a malware on Windows 10 when this comes when the time rolls. But right now they'll probably do all kind of stuff that they're going to do. They say Microsoft has intensified efforts to block unsupported Windows 11 installations. So I mean, they have ways. I mean, I can think there are many ways
been
for
doing this for
them.
years.
Do what?
I mean, they've been doing this for years, and
Well,
and here I'm actually thinking, until Microsoft controls the hardware 100%, like Mac does on their
yeah.
platform, right?
Okay, yeah.
And even there, you can create Hackintoshes, right? Is the pirates are going to win, right? Doesn't matter what. The hackers, the pirates, they're going to win. There's always going to be a way around. Now, mind you, part of the whole idea of TPM, right? That security chip that Microsoft can rely on is exactly that, is authentication, that everything is as it should be, right? Um, that it can authenticate that the copy is genuine, that it can authenticate that nothing has been messed with. Uh, but I have a feeling that they're going to lose this one as well.
I hope so. I mean, when you think about it, so they're going to not allow you to run 11 without TPM, which is not secured, according to them. But they will let you run Windows 10 without updates, which is
Well, I
not
mean, they
secured.
can't block you.
Huh?
They can't block you.
Well,
If you get a copy of Windows 10 and you install it, there's no way of blocking it. So it's not like they
yeah,
will
no,
let
no,
you.
but
They just
but
can't block it.
it's not a matter of blocking or allowing or not allowing. It's a matter of allowing machines out there. They don't care if there are millions of machines that are not secured running out there, but they will not let you run it without TPM. They should let you run Windows 11 without TPM, and it's not as secured, true, but it's running the latest one. I'll bet you most people will probably go for 11 if they did not have to go with TPM. And this way, at least they don't need to worry about keeping updating Windows 10. But of course, the cash cow is going to die at that point.
In,
Ah,
OPatch actually still supports Windows 7. Which is
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
There's a lot of embedded machines out there still using 7.
A lot of
When I
embedded machines probably still using XP.
Yes,
Yeah.
and when I did an update for an ophthalmology office, and they have all these sophisticated scanners and devices,
Mhm.
and many of them are running Windows 7. One had XP
Yeah.
and had to go through. It was the only way to get that up and running again was for the company to send a new hard drive to
Wow.
put into yeah, you couldn't do a software update. You couldn't do like an in-place update. You had to get a new custom built for that specific machine Windows 10 image. And
Mm.
now they're going to have to go through it again unless the company that builds the machine will provide support for it. But based on what I saw, these machines were not being updated.
yeah, but they're not connected to the internet either,
Oh,
right?
yes, they are.
They are.
Yes, they
That's sad.
are because
That's sad.
that's the way they get support, and that's the way they share images and things like this. So it's yeah, it they say, "Oh no, we're not connected," and I'm looking at. I said, "What's this cable?"
They're
Oh,
connected to the local network, yes. Are
yes,
they
but they
connected to
are
the internet?
their local network is connected to the internet.
Yeah, but
That's
if the,
fine. That
no,
doesn't mean that the machine is
I
connected to the internet.
understand, but I went in and found out that yes, it was connected because the guy said I called the company because I needed them to help me with something. So I'll just log into the machine.
yeah.
Boom. So
I mean,
I mean that
really, if it's not required to be on the internet, and I mean, you can disable certain machines for, hey, no, you don't go on the internet. There's
Yeah, and
no,
it doesn't
and
to Spence's point, it doesn't necessarily mean you can't do remote support if you have like uh a machine on the network that they can use that they access through it. So it really
that's
depends
true.
on the architecture, right?
yeah, depends on how secure
Yeah.
their remote access is.
I mean,
But
I can access my entire home from outside the web, from outside the home itself, but I have only one machine that is actually connected to the internet, right?
Yeah.
Everything is done through that, through a proxy, through a reverse proxy. And so, and when I connect using SSH and tunneling, right? So, um, the possibility of connection can always be done through one single secure point and then to the internal. It's not great, right? But it's better, right? It's better than
Yeah, it's safer.
Maybe
exposing something like that.
maybe all these machines out there with Windows 7 and maybe XP is security by obscurity. Maybe nobody bothers with it because
No,
it's so
I
old.
mean we still know that Windows 10 has a huge share, right?
Yeah.
So that's a security risk. It's the
Yeah.
because of those who didn't make the jump.
I was looking at the OPatch offer, and their enterprise offer is well, it's 39 euros. I'm not sure what that would be US a year per machine, centrally managed. Actually, pretty good.
Cheaper than Microsoft.
Oh yeah,
All right. Um, the UK government has ordered Apple to create a backdoor allowing access to encrypted cloud backups of users worldwide. This is coming from Washington Post, citing multiple sources. The unprecedented demand issued last month through a technical capability notice under the UK Investigatory Powers Act requires Apple to provide blanket access to fully encrypted material rather than encrypted storage services in the UK. I mean, rather than assistance with specific accounts. So it's not like they want something, hey, help us with this account. No, we want any account.
yeah. We want to be able to browse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Apple is likely to discontinue its encrypted storage services in the UK rather than compromise user security globally.
I applaud them for that.
Yeah,
This is overreach. I mean, UK seems to be just flushing themselves
it's
down the toilet.
ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's
Absolutely
nothing new in
ridiculous.
UK.
Oh
Like
no, it's
they've
not.
been
I,
doing that for
for a long time,
ages.
but I mean, it's just it's
They're idiots like that.
accelerating.
Yeah.
People are waking up to it, but it's still you just follow some of the stuff that's going on over there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Another thing involving the UK. Um, most Britons support strict controls on AI systems that could surpass human capabilities, according to a YouGov poll, highlighting a growing divide between public opinion and government policy. The survey of 2,300 adults found 87% backlogs requiring AI developers to prove their systems are safe before release, while 60% favor banning the development of quote unquote smarter than human AI models. Only 9% trust tech CEOs to act in the public interest on AI regulation. You can't have an AI that's smarter than me. You can't develop such thing.
But it might have a better memory than I have. AI, where did I leave my screwdriver? Oh, you left it over there. Okay.
Yeah. Katie, here's something that you were talking about before. We were talking about it. US employers are deploying increasingly aggressive phishing tests to combat cyber threats, sparking backlash from workers who say the simulated scams create unnecessary panic and
Yes.
distrust in the
Hmm.
No,
workplace.
very necessary panic.
At the University of California in Santa Cruz, a test email about fake Ebola outbreak sent staff scrambling before learning it was a security drill. At Lee Valley Health Network, employees who fall for phishing tests lose external email access, with
Ooh.
termination possible after 3 failures.
Good. No, I'm serious here. I mean, I know it's harsh and I know it's terrible, and if it'll happen to me, I will probably cry my heart out, right? But it's still the right choice. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
it's like,
I've seen
oh
this.
no, they're taking the car away from a DUI driver, right? Like, come
Yeah.
on.
And wasn't there a statistic that came out not too long ago saying that the biggest security uh, vulnerability for companies is exactly that is
Yes.
is them clicking on emails. That is the biggest reason for security breach.
I think this statistics. The company I'm living, right, Varonis. They quote statistics about this all the time because what they do is they monitor internal systems for the chance of a breach, and once a breach happens, they activate all of the defenses. They identify if a breach is in place, is ongoing, and so the statistics they're saying that like over 80% of the all of the breaches that have been public, right, they've all started with internal threat, and that internal threat might be just somebody clicking on a wrong link in an email, somebody
Mhm.
leaving their credentials open somewhere, etc., stuff like that. So yes, it is the number one.
It's
Humans are the number one fallible point
it's
here.
it's buying stuff on Temu.
Yep.
Mm,
I love it now when you see ads now. If you're on X and there's an ad pops up right away, community notes says this is a drop ship seller. There's no people have said that there's no support. You might be a counterfeit product. Right away, they warn you when that's a really cool thing. And you look to see who's selling it, and it's Timu. Or what's the other big China one from China
Shine,
that's
Shine, something like that.
Sheen.
yeah.
Shane
Shine.
sells clothes, mostly apparel.
Oh, there's another one though, the huge one that I forget the guy who
AliExpress.
owns it. He's a big deal in China. He
Yeah, you're talking
disappeared for
about
a while.
AliExpress.
Yeah, that's it. Alibaba. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It's the Amazon of China. For
Yep.
some reason he disappeared for about a year, and they thought that they purged him,
Yeah,
but
taken
he's
out.
back. Yeah.
I
Guess
mean,
he
as far as all these tests, there's really nothing wrong with them. But before all that, there needs to come a short, I'll say short period of education.
Amnon, they're doing that. You
Okay.
cannot start a job today
Yep.
without HR HR training
Okay.
about how
Okay.
not to be a racist, how not to be an asshole, and how not to be a security risk. No, I know.
Unfortunately, there's just a lot of idiots
Yeah,
that are in the workplace and they have no common sense.
right.
Every
And at
year,
least at least with this, right, unlike misogyny or racism, they're actually doing some active tests and they're weeding out the fluff, right, the trash. But yeah.
there are some really funny videos you can go see online about candidates for jobs and their failures in the interview. Oh, some of it is parody and some of it is real, which is what makes it scary.
I mean, now in the interview processes that I went through, right, one of them uh, put me in front of a terminal and gave me like in a lab environment and gave me like a set of tasks that I needed to figure out my way around. And it wasn't hard in any way for somebody with my experience. And they said that the fact that you passed right, is a rarity in the interview
Oh,
process.
it's
So
meant for you to fail. Yeah.
no, no, not that. No, it's not that
Oh,
it's meant to fail. It's so basic in the knowledge that they are expecting. They're looking for people with 5, 7 years of experience, right? Stuff like that. And people come in and they don't know even how to look up the IP address on the machine. They don't know
oh,
how to figure out that they can't access because I don't know something is blocking, right? And this is stuff that they talked about before in the interview, right? So it's not like you weren't expecting this. If you knew how to answer it in general, then you need to know how to do it in practice, right? It's not just how to speak about it. So yeah,
but
it's
I have my degree from MIT.
exactly. So that's a big problem. People, I remember interviewing people in my old job a few years ago for support jobs, right? So and they come in clueless, clueless. Explain how IP works. Explain how how the what are the layers of the of networking, and they know nothing. Hell, I work with IT people supporting them, and they know nothing. And that's the sad thing.
These are probably the same people that became the IT heads because they knew how to turn off a machine.
Could be. Definitely could be.
Oh,
All right. Um,
it's
Gal, Warner
funny and
Brothers.
tragic.
Warner Brothers Discovery has quietly begun releasing dozens of its older films for free on YouTube, marking an unexpected shift in how the major studio handles its back catalog. Over the past month, the company has uploaded more than 30 full length movies across 5 YouTube channels without digital right management or original restrictions.
Does anybody? I don't know the answer to this, but what possible monetization is there for doing that?
There isn't. I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, at least they put their name
Ads.
out there.
But
They're getting ads revenue probably if there's views, but
Yeah,
yeah,
other than that,
well, has to be a plus for
but
them.
it's pennies, you know. But still, they put their name.
but yes and
Look,
no. I mean, they nobody will pay to rent these movies.
right.
That's my guess, right? So um, so one or two options. One is we upload them to YouTube and then we rely on YouTube's infrastructure, right, for delivery. We don't need to store this. We don't need to pay to store this. We don't need to do anything special about it. And yeah, we're gonna get pennies on per 1,000 views or whatever by monetizing ads. But it's on somebody else's infrastructure. The cost for them is zero here.
Hmm.
And all they need to do is to still keep an original copy somewhere, but they do not need a CDN network. So I mean, it's great. They're making them public. Um, I just hope the creators are getting something, right? Because
Yeah, I hope so.
Discovery is just a distribution, basically, right? There, even when it says that they created the content, they just put in some money that they already had. So
I'm looking at the list now. I went to the site,
Hmm.
Warner Brothers Movies Online, and these are not what I would call blockbusters.
No,
No,
they said that a lot of them were failures and they didn't do 'em as, you know.
I don't think any of you are going to know this, remember this. When I was a kid, there was a movie with Don Knotts in it called The Incredible Mr. Limpet. Anybody ever heard of it?
I heard of it.
You did?
Mhm.
I saw this when I was a kid, and it was a movie where Don Knotts is a human who becomes a fish. I don't know if it was Disney. I guess it's not. It can't be Disney, but it's available on YouTube to watch,
Oh,
and I will watch it because this is something I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. I have to look and see what the year was when this movie came out. Oh
yeah.
yeah, I mean they're going to get me to watch something.
Um,
I sat
Warner
here, I was
Brothers.
astounded. What's that?
Warner Brothers cartoon.
Yep.
1964, based on a 1942 novel.
Yep. Well, limpet is the name given to a specific type of bomb or mine that's used to attach itself to a ship. And commandos would do that. They would go out and they would attach a timer device, basically a mine to the sides of a ship. And there was some very famous commando raids that were done during World War II using this method. So a limpet mine was something that was known. And I don't know where the name came from, but isn't there a limpet fish and it's like a sucker fish and that's what they gave the name to? I don't know.
uh,
Maybe.
what's the difference? It's a movie.
It's a movie, but it's one of those, all of a sudden it becomes animated
Yeah.
and like with real people and animation at the same time, kind of a la Disney.
Oh, it's Roger Rabbit in the 60s.
Yeah. Yep.
We were talking
Fine.
about quantum computing a couple of weeks ago. And I remember that Yale was saying, so how long? And back then it was 20 years. But listen to this, Google aims to
Well,
release what?
it's not precise.
Well, of course
There's
it's not.
already quantum chips.
Nobody
Yeah.
has a crystal ball. We don't know either.
No. What I'm saying is general quantum computing. Okay, let me ask you this. Is AI already available?
Yeah,
No, it is not. That is the thing.
it's
It is
available to
not. There
use.
is large language model, which
Yeah,
is
okay.
a specific part of the AI concept. Okay, and so we're not dealing with AI today, not yet, but we are getting closer, and it feels closer than ever. And we still know it's probably 10 to 20 years away. Okay, so with quantum, it's pretty much the same. Quantum is here in several in specific aspects, right?
That's a good way
There
to
are
put it. Yeah.
companies who are already making money by using quantum computing concepts and elements and chips that are designed specifically with qubits. But we are probably 40 to 80 years away from general quantum computing.
Well, Google
Yeah,
aims
their
to
new chip.
release, listen to that, aims to release commercial quantum computing applications within 5 years, challenging NVIDIA's prediction of a 20-year timeline. We're optimistic that within 5 years, we'll see real world applications that are possible only on quantum computers. Founder and lead Google Quantum AI Hartmut Nevin said in a statement. So again, this is sort of like right now it could be just vaporware, but it's very possible that there'll be something. They're not saying what, they're saying
No,
real world. But
so I'll explain that
okay,
news release. It's they are creating expectation that they are the only one who can provide the solution. By them doing that, they are basically saying you can disregard anything that's out there. They're trying because they are late to the competition of providing. This is Apple circa early 2000s with the iPhone, right? Smartphones were already on the market,
hmm
right? And an iPhone came in, and suddenly the smartphone was born. It's just their smartphone was different, uh, and so what um, what Google is doing here, they're trying to somehow maintain uh, supremacy, pun intended, uh, in the quantum world, saying we know what we're doing. It's not here yet, but we're coming with something in X years. This helps them position themselves in the market in such a place where every other one that's claiming to do quantum, right? That's not it yet. The thing is that they themselves are selling this not quite yet quantum chips, or they're not selling. They have created chips. I don't think any of them are selling chips. They're probably doing leasing computer time, chip time uh, on the cloud. So that's my take from the inside on how this is. One thing I can say, the technology that they have created recently, they came out with a new chip that is going to be available for computing soon. And that chip is exciting in the quantum computer arena right now, in the quantum computing arena, because they figure out a way of the times three the time period that a computation task can take. They went from, I don't remember, a few milliseconds and doubled that to a bit longer, and increase the number of qubits that can be used. Qubits, the problem with them, they're not stable. They error out very, very fast. But they found a way of creating some sort of error correction that keeps a qubits array live for much longer, and that's a big deal in quantum computing right now. And the news generated out of it is more like I've stopped listening to the others. We know best, right? Something like that. That's the position.
Yeah.
And so it's not that they're wrong, it's that there's a huge competition in that field right now, and they're trying to stay ahead. And maybe they're right, maybe they're not, but their
We'll
statement
have to
means
wait and
nothing.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you want to look at what's done with computing today, there are a few companies that have already been doing that for a while. D-Wave is one of them. Um, there's a couple of others, and D-Wave's company using D-Wave's technology are making money today, right? So uh, quantum computing is already here in a very, very small sliver of what's possible, but it's already here and it's already showing its effects.
All right. Um, Talking about Warner and the movies, Eleanor in the chat is asking, are these films in the public domain?
I don't think
I
so.
Yeah,
Discovery stuff isn't in the public domain yet.
they're making it free. I mean, I was thinking about this. What happens
It's
if a
free to
TV
watch, it's
station?
not free to download and own. So,
Oh,
Yeah, you look. I've started one film, and they still have the copyright information about the movie. So
yeah, well,
I don't think
even
that
the
will ever
copyright
come out.
notice will become public domain eventually,
well, yeah,
that
sure,
being a
but
part of the
I
copy.
mean, but you
But
can keep if you keep renewing the copyright. I look at what Happy
there's a
Birthday.
limit.
There's eventually is there eventually a timeout for it?
So
Or
there's a few limits, but the main limit that is always quoted is about uh, the death of the creator. But what do you do in a production that is,
multiple people? Yeah.
yeah, multiple people? So I don't know.
Or I remember when the Happy Birthday story finally broke and it ended. And I don't know that they were sued, or the family just decided to give it up. But something changed in the law based on that because they kept it
No, I
going for
actually read
years.
about this. The happy birthday was all smoke and mirrors, and
Oh, that's right. It was
nobody could prove ownership of it.
right. So they
Yeah,
were collecting money all those years on the
exactly,
scam.
exactly. Yeah.
That's like the parking lot attendant that was collecting money at a parking lot for 40 years. And I'm retiring. Everybody, was so happy because he was such a nice guy. And everybody came the next day. There was nobody there. He said, what happened? Well, he didn't actually own the parking lot. It was great.
Entrepreneur.
Oh,
Yep.
that's it. Yeah. He,
The
he was,
American
All right.
way.
that's
Yeah.
it.
All right, guys, it's this time of day again. Anything you want to add?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks, Katie. Thanks, Gal. And thanks, Spence. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Dana, Dina, Mati, Eleanor, Sarid, Yaakov, and Yael. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. And change any same password where you use them. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Boy, it's still hard to get used to 9 when you do it for years and years at 8. Remember again, Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 a.m., Nick hosts the Carolina Journal News Hour on WBT, 11:10 a.m. and 99.3 FM, and it's on YouTube. And Nick also does the Nick Craig Show now from 7 till 8. Go to nickcraig.com and you'll get the information how to watch it or just to listen. And Nick and Brian together host the Infection Podcast on Twitch. This is for gaming, survival games, and political points here and there. Again, go to infectionpodcast.com and get the info when the show is live. Have a great week. Oh, and I just wanted to say something else. We need to tell people happy Valentine's Day is this week, right?
Yep. Happy Valentine's.
Yeah. Happy Valentine, everybody. See you next Sunday.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.